Hi, and welcome to the Merritt Family Podcast. We blowing up. Join me and my three boys on our business journey as we trip, fall, and fumble our way trying to figure out how to grow our family business from 10 million to 100 million. And let me tell you, that ain't easy. Learn from our past mistakes and no doubt the ones that we'll be making here very soon. So, if you happen to be trying to figure it out just like we are, then follow us because we blowing up.
And he was kind of a old school, kind of a heavier guy, but he wore the white shirt, the suspenders, and all of that stuff. And he was a jeweler, and he worked in this little jewelry store, and it was very narrow. So when you come in, he was always in the very back with a loop in his eye, looking at jewelry and stuff. And he always had a big cigar in his mouth. And it was always you come in and he'd just kind of look up and, "Hey kid, what do you want? Hey kid." That was Walt Wisniewski.
Yeah, I don't like I've never even really that I can recall like ever had like an actual cigar. Like, here, let me have a cigar. But like for some reason over the past like 6 to 12 months I've been thinking like I want to smoke a cigar. Like just like one day just do. I don't know why it's weird. But it seems kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I've smoked quite a few cigars over the years. Like maybe like I don't know, one a year type of thing, maybe two a year type of thing. Just every once in a while, you're just like, you're like puffing on it. But this one time, we were at a retirement party for family friends, kind of down there in Slow, and we were drinking a little bit, but they were passing around this cigar, and so I was smoking like half the cigar that they shared with me, and we we had left the party. It was pretty late, like I don't know, 10 or 11, and we're driving back home. And I'm just like feeling so like lightheaded and like feeling sick, and I'm like, I didn't drink that much. Like I don't get it. But then I'm like, Kelly, you gotta pull over, and I just like just puked so much. Like
Oh.
I think so, like some the mix between the nicotine with the alcohol or something, it just was terrible.
Yeah,
Well,
I think the
maybe because you were, passing the cigar around. Was that before COVID or after COVID?
I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, so for me I'd be like a little scared that I would inhale it and then I would get the same thing, like sick, but I just want to more
I did th-
like kind of
I did that. I did that though. Like I don't inhale in my lungs because I don't want that in there, but you still get it somehow.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
because it's probably just you're breathing and it's gonna kind of
Uh-huh.
get in there. Like I mean, yeah. So anyway, maybe it's more of one of those things, where you like watch a movie or a show or something. You're like, yeah, that would be kind of cool. But then you do it, and you're like, oh, this just isn't for me or something. Like the idea of it seems, I guess, like cooler looking than it is. It's like, hey, maybe just better to leave it to those guys.
I don't know. It's I get the little whiskey drink, and then you have the cigar
Yeah, that's what I'm
attached.
saying. It seems
It's
so
like
cool, and like you're in a conversation, and you're so like
it's like
so cool and sophisticated, and
I
just like
always
so
I
like
always hate the taste of it. It smells horrible. The taste is awful. It's like, but I like do it because it's like, yeah, I'm cool.
yeah, yeah,
I've never understood it. The
yeah,
Yeah,
cigar
it's
thing.
weird.
The cigar thing never caught my attention.
Makes
Yeah.
two of us.
I don't
yeah.
get
It
it.
just I don't know. It just seems kind of cool, but I don't
Hey
know.
Drew,
But anyway,
Drew, do you
yeah,
like my outfit today?
Yeah, that's
Looks
my
good.
yeah, it's
jacket.
cool.
I've been looking for
Yeah,
that.
I was freezing and you left all your jackets here, so this one looked the warmest, so I was like I threw that on real quick.
Are they
Yeah,
leaving the
yeah.
AC at
Drew's
70 still?
Yeah.
Drew's really good at leaving things around. He always does that.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
leaves stuff, and then also when it comes time for Drew to bring something to like someone gives something to him to like, oh, give it to this person, then he'll just it's sitting in his place for like years, and he's like, oh yeah. Yeah, I was supposed to give you that, so I
Well, it's the
forgot about
same
that.
thing. Like, the sales rep showed up at my door and he got me on the Verizon Wi-Fi service. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a try. And then, of course, I just time went on and I tried it and it just wasn't as good as what I'm using with Xfinity, I believe. And I just forgot about it. I'm just like, oh, and then I get a bill in the mail for 128 bucks, and I'm like, this is what you get.
Yeah.
This is what you
Hey,
get.
by the way, are we blowing up?
Oh, we blowing up. Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what this is about?
That's right. This is a part of the journey.
Yeah,
Part
this
of
is
the
a part of
journey.
a podcast of we know nothing.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah.
As they say, the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree, and I know, in my case, I don't know that much. So,
All right, I want to get your guys' quick like instant reaction. Um, like I want you to just clean slate your mind here real quick, and I want you to just like if you were somebody out there on the internet, what would you think of this?
On the
probably
phone getting
boring.
out of hand? Look out! You need Discover Adapt 20, the ultimate in hands-free design. Simply connect the USB adapter to any computer, then put on the wireless headset. It's that easy. Hands-free, pain-free. You'll wonder how you ever lived without it. It's perfect for any laptop, computer, or cell phone. Now talk hands-free anywhere, anytime. Office work is a pain for Mr. Phone on the neck, but you won't miss a beat with hands-free freedom. A must for the entire office. Work goes quicker and easier. The headset is lightweight and adjustable. Best of all, Discover Adapt 20 works with any phone system, like Zoom and Teams. An amazing breakthrough product you'll use every day. Now only $159.99. Call toll-free to order by credit card and make this your last phone of the neck call. Call now, 800-683...
That was funny. I thought it was fun.
Obviously, like we're in it and we're starring in it, and it makes it even more funny to like us personally. But do you think like we try to put stuff out there and it's like, hey, can that get a little bit more attention than normal? And we've posted it up to our YouTube channel and our social medias, and it's like it did okay, but it's just like, nothing like a huge spike or anything, big comments, big feedback, so yeah, what's
I
your thought?
I just love it. Like I just love the commercial so much. It's like it's just I've watched it probably like gosh, at least 20 times maybe, and at that that's probably where like 10% of our views it came
Yeah, I was
from,
going to say
but
that's probably about 98% of our
yeah.
views.
Yeah, but for just yeah, obviously I'm biased and I'm looking at it from what I know about our company and just it's us and all of that, but like to me I just love the commercial so much. I think it's just hilarious and it keeps going, like it keeps switching quick enough and the messaging is good. I personally like it a lot, but when it comes to other people, I'm sure, I don't know, people just like, what is this? Or what? I don't know. It's like, so yeah, it's almost just more for us than anything.
Maybe it's more of a confusion. They're probably looking at that, wondering. I mean, is this thing real or is this sort of a joke? You know?
Ex- Exactly, it's kind of both.
Yeah.
It is kind of both. And the thing I thought was like, people would see it as a joke, but then call the number just to see like, is it actually something?
Oh, so
And I
that's
thought,
because that's the reason we got all those hang-ups, right?
yeah, no, I was expecting, well, I was preparing for potentially the phone to ring a decent amount, like a little bit more than usual, just with people maybe saying like, hey, I saw this and just wanted to see if it was an actual real company or something. But that didn't happen from my understanding. So yeah, just flop.
I don't I don't think we heard one person call from it or even ask about it. So usually when the videos get like no engagement, you're just like, yeah, that was a great one.
Well, like in episode one, I think there was some talk about that we're not afraid to try new things. And a lot of the new things that we do try are not always successful. This is probably just one of those examples.
But it's
Yeah.
interesting though, like because well, I've had people comment to me like they saw it. They didn't post anything or comment anything. They said, "Oh, that video, made me happy. It lit up my day. It entertained a lot of people." I had multiple of our like people in our ecosystem, our partners, our customers have made mention of it. So some people are seeing it, and it is leaving some sort of, you know, impression on them. I don't know if it's a good one or not, but it seemed like it was positive and good. But yeah, it didn't like blow up viral or anything.
Exactly, and this is where we, like in a past episode, it was the success pathway. It's not like the one thing; it's a series of things. And so I look at it like that. It's more, oh, is it branding? Is it marketing? Is it whatever you want to call it? It's just another thing, another good thing, another creative thing, another thing that we're putting out into the world, that is part of our journey to where we're going. So I thought it was cool, and I'd like to do more things like that, and more things that are not like that, just bunches of things. But I think, I thought it was great, and we should do another one.
Well, yeah, it doesn't. It's not just like it's again like what we were talking about last episode. It doesn't take just like, oh, you do one of those commercials, now you just sit there at your computer like, oh my God, please, we're gonna get rich. We're gonna get rich today. We're blowing up. You have to do a whole bunch of experiments. You just create a little theory. For example, that commercial came up because we saw that old 90s commercial of like phone relief or whatever. David, maybe you can share it so people can see where that video idea came from. A lot of people thought that was funny and they've seen it in this industry. So we're like, hey, let's just make our own version of it. Everyone that watches that, it's like so out there, it catches your attention and you continue watching it. So we gave it a good try. Engagement wasn't great, but I have the same reaction from people saying, hey, I saw that video, but they didn't actually engage on it or like it or anything like that. They just told me about it later, like, oh, that was so funny. But so it didn't necessarily equate to sales though.
Yeah, even I think manufacturers that weren't the manufacturer of this particular brand, I think liked it and probably would have preferred that it was their brand in the spotlight for that as well. So I mean, if they were like, hey, if that just would have been us, that would be awesome. But hey, still liked it anyway. So that's something. That's an interesting bit of
Well,
feedback.
the other thing too is that it's for us, it's a little bit groundbreaking. So going forward, like if we want to do more, not necessarily exactly like this, but something along the same lines, maybe. At least we'll have a little bit of experience to be able to say, "Hey, we've done that before."
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a whole production. I mean, it's literally we're the actors. We have the video creation. We have the video editing, the different outfits or whatever that we had to throw on. It's like, I guess we're a media company after all.
yeah, that is a good point to bring up is um, the amount of money that a agency would charge us to make this. We've been quoted 20 grand to 150 grand, but since we have invested in a team that is able to do the video production side of things, so we've invested in a few video editors who also run the cameras and they know how to do all of these edits and chops. It makes it so easy for us to test these things because if you think about how much video editing time that went into this is like maybe 1 or 2 days. So, whatever that is for $1,000 or something, we can test out this whole video, chop up a commercial and make and put it out there and just see what happens. It's so easy to test when you've invested in the media side of things. Whereas if you have to hire a company, it gets really expensive. So, um, I think that's a good use of our resources to test a lot of this stuff. And obviously, the video editing team we already know is already producing results for us because we're getting leads, we're getting customers, we're getting sales on our website that uh, equals the amount of cost or beyond the video editors. Plus, we got our YouTube ad revenue and all that.
Yeah, the way I view this commercial is not exactly like you're running a commercial like this commercial and then the phone rings and you get sales for that exact product. Hey, I saw the Discover Adapt 20 and that awesome commercial. And oh, you said you had quantity discounts. How many can I buy? I want to get as many as possible. I'm not looking at this commercial like that. I'm more looking at it like an attention getter. It's just bringing more attention to Headset Advisor and not this headset per se. And so it just gets in front of more people who then learn about who we are. Oh, wow, that was kind of a cool commercial. Who are these guys? And hey, maybe partners would want to work with us, or other people would see us and be like, know that what we do, and then want to buy from us just sometime down the road. So again, I think it's just those incremental steps that we're taking, rather than this video that just gets tons of success. That being said, I'm sure that there are some videos that we could create that can actually directly drive sales, that we can attribute. That video created lots of orders and the phone was blowing up, and so on. I don't know how to
Yeah.
do that exactly, but I'm sure that it's
Yeah,
possible.
I'd love for our video to go viral and then we're just getting mass deals. That's like,
Yeah,
would be ideal.
I think the real person who created this whole video viral marketing thing was that Dollar Shave Club. I think that guy like changed the whole industry on those down and dirty, funny type videos and whatnot. And so maybe it's just played out for a lot of places, or you just have to experiment enough to find your lane of what catches on. But more than anything, these videos, like any marketing you do, the whole goal here is you need to get known. That's what we found, is like the more you get known, they're like, oh, I know these guys and I want to do business with those guys. But if you're not known, you're never going to have a chance to sell anyone.
Yeah,
It's
that's
kind of like what we've always said, is that we're the best kept secret in the telecom industry, right? Something that we're trying to change, obviously.
Yeah, and a lot of people, like a lot of the idea around, that people have are, hey, fly under the radar, and you don't want to ruffle any feathers and all these kinds of things. And honestly, I think that type of mentality just keeps you small and prevents you from really doing what's necessary to get yourself out there in front of a bunch of people. Because if you have bulletproof integrity, high character, and you're just getting your stuff out there, it's like, why not get out there in front of as many people as possible? What is there to be concerned about? So so as long as you've got your house in order, then I'd say go for it as much as possible and get attention. As long, it obviously, you don't want to be spammy, and I guess, I don't know, some people say whatever it is, like any attention is good attention. I don't want to kind of follow that, like even negative publicity is good kind of a mentality. I don't think so. But a commercial like that, it's like, how is that negative in any way? It's just a unique and kind of interesting commercial.
Yeah, I thought it was fun to kind of produce and figure out in that voiceover. We hired a voiceover person on Fiverr. So if we didn't use it for like commercial purpose, it would have cost us $5. But with the commercial license, it cost an additional 50, so $55 to have that
Oh man,
done.
big spender, bro, big spender.
I know.
In fact, I'd have to cut you back, David.
Exactly. Got to reduce my pay.
That's right. Take it out of your next check.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Fiverr's been a gem, man. That logo right behind you, David, the Headset Advisor logo, that's right from Fiverr. That cost us what, like $20 or something?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, Fiverr is awesome.
Yeah, it's really easy to create things through there.
Well, just to clarify, the sign didn't cost $20. It was the design of the sign, right?
Yes, that's a good
Good point, Dad.
there.
Thanks for clarifying.
Mhm.
Yeah, on
That's
that
what
video,
I'm
Dad,
here for.
I love that last part when you're mowing the lawn. Like, just the way that you go about that. It's like this choppy way that you're moving instead of a smooth way. There's something about that I just love. You're like,
It's
The lawnmower wasn't even on.
No, it's funny because you do a lot. It's weird, this production. Like, you go into these scenes and you do like 2 seconds of an action, and you're like, that has to be horrible. There's no way that me doing that, me acting that out came out any good. And then you see the final piece put together, and you're like, how did we do that? That's pretty good.
It's
Like
called
all the scenes and
the magic of editing.
Well, and so that's one important lesson is like, we can't do it all. So we have to hire competent people that are capable of these things. And like, again, I've brought up in the past, it's like, you sometimes think, oh, I don't want to let someone else do it because they wouldn't do it as good as me. It's like that, like Jeff doing that. It would take me 20 years to figure out how to do something like that. So just getting the right people that are able to really produce and just do all these things, it's a game changer. And then like for me, shooting those little pieces in the commercial, like it's so easy. I just sit there. He tells me like do this, and then I act out a little something. But it's the easy work. The difficult part is, he's driving around, hauling the equipment, getting the scenes together, coming back, editing it, making it all come together. That's where the magic's at.
Yeah, our part of it, took literally just a matter of moments. But with Jeff, different story because, like you say, he's having to, to drive to different locations, get set up, shoot the scenes, and then of course all the things that go on behind the scenes to be able to provide the finished product. I mean, that's the heavy lifting. Our part was really quite simple, really.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that came together. Luckily, it was only 60 seconds, so
Yeah.
it's, less than 60 seconds. It's actually like 35 seconds of actual like video. Um, so
And
that made it
that's
easier.
rare for us. 30 seconds. It's like we're like doing a review, and it's like 30 minutes. Like what?
oh,
You know,
What's taking so long? We're like, I've just got to tell you one more thing, just one more thing.
well, yeah, because I'm notorious for that. What I've found is like actually making it short. Like you can make it short and bad, but you can also make it short and good. Um, where you can make it 5 to maybe 10 minutes of a product review, be really, really good, have, all the detailed information. But what I find when I'm recording these videos is that it's easy to go longer because it's just like, oh, I'm just going to spew and I'm just going to keep spewing things. And it's like maybe some value, but it's like I could have more concisely said, it has a noise canceling microphone that blocks out the background noise. Or you can, kind of really describe and just keep talking about it and why and why and why. And it just like goes on when you can like concisely say something. But it's really a lot more difficult to make things concise, good, and thorough. So, um, that's something that we definitely need to improve on. We have in the past.
that's why our YouTube channel feedback is so crucial, or feedback in general. Because when we were doing videos, especially early on, Dave, when it's literally like, all right, Jeff, turn the camera on and let's just start talking, and they come out to 30 minutes of whatever we just said, like 30
Wow.
minutes straight. Like there's no chopping it up. Like turn the camera on and then you talk for 30 minutes of whatever on one take. It's just talking about what we know. But when you get feedback from people, it's hilarious because they're like, man, you just spoke for 30 minutes when you could have just told me that whole video in like 2 minutes. I don't know what you just said.
we are all dumber now for listening to
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Well, so this
Yeah,
is the importance of good communication, right?
Sure.
So we're communicating in so many different areas of our business. We're communicating when we're creating YouTube videos or various video content. We're communicating when we're writing the blog posts. We're communicating when we're speaking with customers over the phone. We're communicating all day long on chat. We're communicating all day long on email. So to be a good communicator and communicate clear and concise, uh, you know, clearly and concisely is very important to giving the most value in the least amount of time. So you're saving your time and you're saving other people's time. So you can be a lot more efficient, a lot more effective. a breath of fresh air, because it's like, wow, it was done. That's all that it took. You solved my problem in 3 minutes rather than this took half the day and I was dreading it. So then people are more likely to engage with you because it's they know that they can just get uh, everything kind of jam packed into a short window and taken care of in an efficient way.
Well, yeah, and the
You
way
know,
we fix that.
it's interesting because it
Get
kind
them,
of
Dad. Get them.
it kind of takes me back to shut up. It takes me back to a sales training class that I was in like 100,000 years ago. You know, back when there were dinosaurs and stuff, and we were selling, and that they were talking about that very subject. You know, it's kind of like basically get to the point. And the term that they used back then was called BLOT, which stands for bottom line on top. So in other words, like, so you're listening to the sales presentation and the person's going blah, 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 blah. And the people are going, blah, 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 blah. And finally, at the very, very end, after about 20 agonizing minutes, somebody finally says, so that means here is my point of the day. And then they give you the point of the day. And then finally people are saying, thank God he finally got to the point, you know? Well, you can kind of reverse that by simply providing the bottom line on top and then use what might follow maybe to help support that thought or that idea. So, yeah, people don't like it when you just go on and on and on. So I'll shut
Yeah.
up now.
What a lot of people do on like the content side of things, they call it a hook. So just in the first 5 to 10 seconds, you give them a hook, a reason why they actually want to watch your video. So it could be bottom line on top, or like, hey, what's the main point of this? What kind of value am I going to get out of here? Or like, oh, that's shocking, or something, right in the beginning, to try to give them something interesting and a reason to want to stick around and watch the rest or read the rest of the blog. You give them, kind of that bullet point right up front, like, oh, hey, this video is for somebody who wants to learn about this wireless headset. Great, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'll go ahead and keep watching the video.
Yeah, and in the same way, say in like a sales pitch, like a lot of the sales literature, sales content, they talk about how you would go into it, get hook people and then get into a sales conversation. For example, a salesperson may say something like, "Hey, I've got a way that can increase your sales by 50% in the next 6 to 12 months. Is that something you would be interested in?" Or
Yes.
so then they're like, well, yes, I would like to increase my sales by 50% in 6 to 12 months. I'm interested in that. Well, great. And then now you've hooked them because, well, what is it? What is it? And then what they always, at least some of them, talk about, well, hey, that's what I'd like to tell you about, but I need to meet you in person. Or so you don't give it to them, you give them the hook, and then you're trying to set up like appointments and everything so that you can get into a full presentation and all that, rather than just tell you what it is. But anyway, the point is giving that hook up front. So there's a lot of different ways to use it, but that's another way. So whether that's a hook in the sales pitch, or just telling them what what you're going to gain from this or learn from this. Oh, well, maybe I should pay attention.
Yeah, I agree. One thing with the content side of things that I've learned is that if you give them the hook and don't deliver, it's a big flop. Dislike, thumbs
Oh yeah,
down. Yeah,
thumbs down. You're
or
horrible. We hate you.
or
Get off
yeah,
YouTube. We're sick of your face.
Well,
All of
like
it.
that one short that I have, it's like, I think it's called "Are the Bose Quiet Comfort 2 Still Good in 2021" or something it was, and then it was literally nothing about are the phones. Then
That's
sign up for this giveaway, and they were like, thumbs down, thumbs down. They said, this is a commercial, pal, and this is not what I was signing for. False advertisement. 2 thumbs down.
Yeah, sounds like we deserved it.
we did deserve that one. We were experimenting. Dustin's like, no, this is how the shorts work. No, we're gonna get him. And we're just getting in the studio. Dustin busts out like 20 videos. Like, all right, I got him. And Dustin's always giving me and David some some kind comments about how we get ripped all the time. I'm like, now you get ripped, buddy. It's your turn. It's your turn.
Yeah, like do you guys ever take any of the comments like personally? Like,
No, because it's like the YouTube comments section.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
you expect it's just gonna be just the sewer. It's like the sewer in there. There's some actually, that are loyal subscribers and viewers that actually give good feedback and everything. We're fortunate on our channel or on our main channel to have a lot of good ones, honestly, that are actually good, good contributors. But yeah, you expect that there's just going to be all sorts of nonsense. So it's just whatever, like just say whatever. And how I view it too is you can comment whatever you want. It just really is helping us. Even if you say negative things, it's like the algorithm looks like people are engaging with it. So whatever, you can say whatever.
yeah, like a couple of the comments on this this channel so far, we got, here's your mistake. The big long talk about nothing, that was probably the interesting podcast. Just four dudes and a kid talking about not knowing what to talk about. Dot 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 dot
wait,
dot.
who's four
I
dudes
liked
and a
it.
kid?
Yeah,
Who's
who's
the
that?
kid?
Xander was in the
I thought there
video.
were 4 on here.
Oh, I thought they were talking
Oh,
about me.
that was Xander.
Yeah, Xander was in the video.
Yeah, I thought they were talking about me. I was like, wait, but there's only 4 people. So I'm like, is
Yeah.
it?
They're like,
I
hey,
didn't
kid.
realize.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was Xander they were referencing. Like,
Yeah, so
no,
they
he said he
liked-
liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, so they liked the idea of
You can't
just
tell if
4
it's
dudes
sarcasm.
talking about nothing.
Yeah, well, when I saw those comments, I first thought that they were kind of negative and stuff, which, it is what it is. But when I looked at them a little more closely, it says it was kind of sounding negative, but then it says, it was interesting or I liked it or something. I'm like, huh? So,
Yeah. Well, so back to communication as well. Is the reality is most people aren't that great at communication. So if you're reading through the YouTube comments, and also there's different languages, country, different communication styles. So you don't want to read too far into it because people have a difficult time getting the written word across in the way that they would mean it in person.
Sure.
So yeah, you just take it with a grain of salt. To really, what I'm looking for is if it's extreme negativity in mass, then it's like, okay, maybe there's something that I did wrong in this, because that's real feedback. Or if there's like a lot of positive reviews about specific things, then it's like, hey, maybe a sign to continue on in a certain direction for what
Sure.
they're looking for. So looking for patterns like that, but just random negative comments, like who cares? Whatever.
Well, this is why there's only a certain percentage of people that can be creators because, man, feedback is devastating to people. They put themselves out there like we're putting ourselves out here right now. If we can't handle the feedback that's about to come, you're not gonna be able to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Either
I
that
just
or
think
else you'll start drinking or something.
Right. So if you take it personal, that's my point, is if you take any
Yeah.
of this negative feedback personal,
Uh-huh.
literally you're going to be crying every day or not be able to sleep at night and whatnot. So this is why a lot of people can't put themselves out there on a video because if they even read anything like that, they're devastated. And so, it can be a challenge sometimes reading certain feedback. It's like, oh man, especially like you said, Dustin, if a bunch of people are saying like, say you're putting out content and you have good intentions, but everyone is literally like, this is horrible. You're like, yeah, I should probably go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, we've definitely used the feedback to like kind of guide some of our content for future, which has been productive. But I think any of like the trolls or any of the real negative ones is very easy for me at this point to just ignore it. What we're doing is helpful. It's free too. Keep that in mind. Absolutely free. Like it didn't cost you anything but your time. So it's like I know what we're doing is helpful, positive, and in a good direction. And then, it's just like it's very easy for me personally at this point to just, ignore a lot of the negative comments. But yeah, we've made some mistakes on some content. One in particular that I'm thinking of that we deleted immediately when there was some backlash on it. And, it's just a good learning lesson on kind of the lane you want to stay on, which if you don't post some of the stuff, you won't really know kind of where your lane is.
Well, if you think about the past days too, media companies were just these media was like 3 4 different companies that were the gatekeepers for anybody to get on there, and they have systems, processes, how they go about things. Now with YouTube and the whole internet, there are like millions of productions out there. I mean, like, we're a media company and there are millions of them. So these people, it's like, you think these people all know what to do and all the best practices and all that stuff. It's like, just press record and just start going is basically what most people do. I mean, give or take. So it's just a whole different era, and but that's part of the cool part about the modern era, is that you can get more people that aren't as calculated as these big corporations. It's a little more raw, a little more real. And so if you stumble upon a cool podcast or a cool channel or whatever, then you just get something that a big corp isn't going to be able to give to you. So I don't know. It's just an interesting era for sure.
Something that I would like to see a little more of is some analytics. So, like for example, let's say with our YouTube videos, being able to maybe spend a little bit more time and energy into analyzing how long people watch and where they drop off, and then circling back around and finding out, well, what were we talking about when they dropped off? So maybe that can help us to be able to improve the content that we're producing and maybe keep them viewing longer. Because of course, the ultimate objective is to have them watch the entire, episode. But analytics certainly plays a part in that, which I don't believe that in the blog world. I don't think that we're getting any analytics to that extent, are we?
Yeah, so on the YouTube, like they have all those metrics, and what I've come to find out in all the research and everything is that you need to make good content that people actually want to watch, something you would want to watch. Um, and so focusing on the audience. Hey, do you have a good thumbnail? Do you have a good title? That helps them click it. But then after that, it's just, is your content decent or not? Like, is it, if it's decent, they'll watch it. If it's not decent, they won't watch it. So just making better and better content is extremely important. And we do have the analytics on the videos, and there's lots of analytics to look at, but view duration, which YouTube wants to post content that people are going to watch and watch for as long as possible to keep people on the YouTube platform. So I do look at that, but I get really confused on ours. It's like we've tried, and I mean we've tried lots of different intros, lots of different call to actions, lots of different content, chop, more editing, less editing. We've tried all of it. And I can't seem to get the retention rate to bump up, a significant notch. I don't see any commonalities between what we're saying, and as far as like, hey, don't say, this word, or don't say this thing, because every time, you get a drop. I'm just not seeing any of that data. Maybe I'm not able to clearly see it,
David,
but
David, how long, if you were just taking a guess, and a guess is fine, on average, how long would you say that people stay on our YouTube videos?
average view durations, I can look real quick, but it's like just a couple of minutes. Let me see.
Does that count like if they skip, like if like, hey, I'm gonna fast forward to the different parts, or is that like just them straight listening or watching?
So the view duration is like we have at the end of the video, we only have about 20% of the people remaining on the video at the end of it. So if 100 people watch it, only 20% will see the end of the video.
See, my thought is, let's just say for conversation that people watch for 2 minutes, then we have to get really creative on how we can get that content served up in 2 minutes. You know?
Well, but it might be a percentage based though, because so we'll see. So you could maybe that's an idea. Create 2 minute videos, and then it's just everything in that 2 minute. Maybe that would do it. So that'd be like the Drew stuff worth a test. Like, just test and see what happens. But um, it could just be percentage of the video. Like, they only view this percentage. So then if it's 2 minutes instead of 10 minutes, and it's 20% that they view, then you just get a lot less view time. So I'm not sure how that would go. Most likely they'd view more percentage with the shorter video. But I guess we wouldn't know without a test. That being said, when you think about it, what does YouTube want? Yes, YouTube wants people to stay on the video, like stay on their platform longer. But really, if you think about it, what do they truly want is they want when somebody gets served the suggestions from YouTube, they want people to click whatever they click and really like whatever they watch. Like, so it's like, oh, YouTube has all this great stuff, rather than everything I click, oh, it's another piece of trash, exit, next one, garbage, like, and then eventually I want to get off this platform. So that's really what the thing. And so what I'm thinking is, at least in our content, my hunch is that it's just not the type of content that's going to just have these people watching 10, 20, 30 minutes and just in mass watching your entire videos, in the same way that maybe, say, like a Joe Rogan podcast, or a UFC, um, weigh-ins with like uh, confrontation, Conor McGregor and this other guy. They went at it, and what happened, the whole story. It's more entertaining, and so I think ours is educational in terms of this little niche space, but it's not like you click that and you're like, oh man, sit back and just enjoy the show. So I think probably the pivot would be edutainment and a lot more entertainment, but maybe still delivering uh, some info about headsets throughout it. But it's more, say like that Office show or something like that, where people would actually tune in for the show, and oh, like a mic test or something in there. Maybe not that. I don't know. Maybe it's a whole different channel. This channel just is what it is. I'm not sure. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts.
I'm pretty sure this channel just is what it is. It's kind of like Marcus Browley. We're on the business side and a niche inside the business side. So it's like the target market is only so big. We're super narrow, but we could obviously expand, into different topics on our channel once we've kind of saturated this a bit more. For us in our industry, you get into desk phones, you get into video, you get into more generic issues, productivity hacks, work from home setups. You could just start increasing the more generalized content for our channel, is like what we could do at some point. I'm not sure if we should or shouldn't right now, but like that could get us more reach, more subscribers, more growth once you start going out broader. But at the end of the day, I think our content is just, a very niche specific, designed for keyword research. So somebody's typing in, the brand name, the model, maybe a generic keyword such as like, wireless headset, or, whatever solution. If you're looking for printers or mattresses or whatever, you're typing in little keywords around those topics. And that's just what our main channel is for, right? Like that's just what it's going to be, I feel like.
Yeah, and that might just be okay. Like, the channel, so there's two broad categories. I'd say there'd be like education and then entertainment, and then there's like an overlap of like edutainment somewhere in there. But ours is just product education in this very niche field, and it's okay that it's not a 10 million viewer channel. It's like, even I'd rather have 50,000 subscribers and actually get lots of business and all that, and you're like a clear cut authority in your space when everyone's trying to find these products, then have 1 million subscribers, but your only monetization really is off of your ad revenue or something like that. So I don't know. I think it's just this little lane, that this is just, you take it for as far as you can, but just have a realistic expectation for what you're looking to get out of it, rather than thinking that this is, we just have to change our lighting or change something about it and then we're going to have like millions of viewers. It probably just isn't that type of channel.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Dad, just the facts. 3 minutes of average view duration. So people watch for 3 minutes on average. and they view on average 28.9%. That's what our stats are for our videos at the
Wow,
moment.
that's interesting. So that's almost like 75% of the content that we are producing is not even viewed.
Pretty much,
Not
yeah.
necessarily. No, it's not exactly that because it think about it. There's a lot of people that click the video and then they watch it 10 seconds and then they're out of there. So that counts as in that whole equation. But then there's other ones that clicked it and watched the whole thing through. So all that added up and divided then gives you the 30% of the video. So like of a 10-minute video, they're watching about 3 minutes on average. But that doesn't mean that each person is going to 3 minutes and then closing out. It's like,
Hmm.
so it just that's just on average.
Yeah, but if it's 30% of average percentage views, that means in theory, like 3 people out of 10 actually watch the full video.
No, not
7
exactly.
bail.
Well, it could be that, but it could
Yeah,
be, some portion view 45 seconds,
yeah,
some portion view 6 minutes, some portion does all of it. Like it's all of that. So it's
yeah,
Hmm.
hard to say exactly.
yeah.
It's not
But
as simple as just 7 bail, 3 watch it all the way through kind of a thing.
but you can see on the data graph that it's like at the beginning of the video you have 100% and then it's just like crash, and then
But
you have
is
some
that the
consistent
average?
viewers.
Is that the average? Or like
I
how does
don't
that
know, but I'm pretty
y-
sure it's accurate, like statistically speaking. I'm
well,
pretty
yes,
So
sure
it
do we need
it's.
to
is.
just get right into it?
I
Like no
try.
more
No,
even
that might not
introducing
be it
ourselves.
though. That might
Just
not be
like
it. It's like maybe certain people are
Well, yeah, some
anyway.
people weren't actually interested in that. So some portion of your 100%, call it 20%, where did not want to watch that video for some reason, but they clicked it for whatever reason. But the remaining, we should be able to hook better, present better, make more action, make it more.
I
Um,
guess. I mean,
I
I
mean, that's
guess.
I don't know what else we can do. Like I was trying to look up like Marcus Browley and iJustine, like their retention numbers, um, because I just really want to know what do they do, right? Like if they're getting 50% or something, and they're getting, people watching 5 or 6 minutes instead of 3 minutes like us, that would be very interesting to know that
Did you
it's
get their
possible.
numbers?
No, I couldn't find it.
Could you get anybody's like Beast? Well,
Beast
obviously
was
Beast is a
70%.
well,
He
yeah,
said
he's a
most of the
freak
creators
show.
that he looks at is about 50%.
And we're
So
30-ish.
yeah, we're under 30, 28.9.
Okay, so yeah, but Beast would probably look at our channel and he'd probably rip us.
Of course, yeah, but it's like he's in entertainment,
Yeah, exactly. You'd say that this is like that
not
title
interesting.
stinks, that thumbnail's
yeah.
horrible,
Yeah.
that
Why
content's
why
mid.
is this a channel?
Yeah. No,
Why is this a
he'd probably get it, but he'd just be like, this isn't gonna go viral. Like it's
Yeah.
not, it
Well,
doesn't
this
blow you
channel
up.
isn't designed to go
Yeah.
this. No, this channel has our YouTube channel has blown us up in a certain way, right? It's helped us out with our website big time. It's helped out with brand awareness. So, in this space specifically, there's not really anyone doing it. So we came in and we filled the need, and for that, we're getting attention, getting awareness, getting sales because of it. So it's obviously not the reason why everyone's buying, like seeing us and buying from us, but I mean, just before YouTube and getting on this whole online marketing game, we couldn't beg someone to buy on our website. Now it's doing
Yeah.
pretty well.
Yeah.
And that's like with no PPC. That's like 100% organic pretty much.
Hmm.
Yeah, so just having followers or something like that, that's just, that it's a lot of people. You can buy followers. You could just buy followers. I have 1 million. It's like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, how much do you make? Like that's who cares? I mean, you'd want more, yeah, always more, I guess, but um, I'd rather have like less followers but more business success than like more followers and just like on the surface, look how cool you are, but cool doesn't buy me the groceries.
You
Exactly,
know,
and that's what I was trying to say earlier. Go ahead, Dad.
trying to figure out the best path forward on our YouTube videos is pretty challenging when you really think about it, because like you said a little bit earlier, David, that we're constantly, changing up the format and all those different things. I mean, even to the extent that, we'll try being, right to the business aspect, just presenting the idea as succinctly as we can. And then on the other side of the equation, we're also trying, to add a little bit of humor in some of the things that we do, which I don't know. To me, it seems like anytime that we try to do humor, it seems like we don't do all that well. But well, I think we entertain ourselves, but I don't think we entertain anyone else. But um,
What's funny is when we're
so
not trying to be entertain, when we're not trying to be funny, Dad, all of a sudden people are like, "Oh my God, you guys are so funny." Especially when we do the live giveaways, they're like,
oh
"Oh,
yeah,
this
oh
is just
yeah,
great." I'm watching at 9 p.m. at night, sitting in bed with my wife, drinking wine, watching a
yeah,
Headset Advisor live giveaway. Like
yeah, yeah,
they found that entertaining,
yeah,
and
yeah.
those
That's
people
true.
stayed on the live show. A lot
Hmm.
of people would stay on that show. I don't know why,
Yeah,
but they did.
I think a lot of them stayed on the live show because it was a live giveaway show, So there was something that they could win if they were to, be chosen.
Yeah, but that's like Mr. Beast's whole shtick is the giveaway, isn't it?
I believe
Uh,
so.
Yeah, he's like a
Kinda.
giveaway. He's like the giveaway. I gave away this. I gave away that.
Yeah, it's like just
Yeah,
giving away extreme amounts of money, which captures extreme amounts of attention.
yeah. So it's and it's so it makes sense why our give people like again how we've said in the past. Like you go to a basketball game and they're throwing little 50-cent plastic balls or a little cheap T-shirt that's like triple XL that you'll never wear, and people are literally like throwing kids out of the way and diving over and getting like real injuries and stuff just to grab these things. So people are obsessed with like winning stuff and free and giveaway and all this for whatever reason. There's something in our nature that just is obsessed with this giveaway. So it is smart in a way to get attention and to get people around you for sure. And I honestly don't even know why we gave up the giveaway show. I really think we should do it like once a month or something, or like at least
Well,
once a quarter.
I think
I like the giveaway show. Myself, I just thought you guys did a great job on that.
for those of people that are not familiar with our giveaway show, we do like an hour show where we gave away boatloads of headsets on our YouTube channel. So, in my opinion, and the way I felt about it, and the reason like I didn't want to do it or I voiced that I don't want to do it is just because we were doing this show, we were getting about 100, maybe 150 max concurrent viewers, and it was like consistently staying the same, right? It wasn't increasing, oh, 150 this time, 175, 200, kind of going up over time. It was staying relatively flat as far as viewership. And so what it felt like is, hey, we're doing this giveaway every single week to the same exact people every single week. So eventually, we're just going to give everybody that follows us a free headset. Is basically what it felt like. So plus, like coming up with it and spending our time and efforts into this area just didn't feel like the best use of time. So that's my reasoning for it.
Yeah,
Well,
but
maybe
let's
what we could do to kind of counteract that a little bit is the frequency is needs to be looked at. Maybe it's once a quarter we do it, and that gives us 3 months to be able to promote it better, so that you get more people that are stopping on by and checking it out.
Dad, you took the words right out of my mouth. And also on top of that, I don't think the giveaway it's like more is necessarily better. I mean, of course, everyone wants more, and they even say that on the giveaway, one more, just give away one more. And then they also want like Drew, oh Drew, what kind of shoes do you have? Let me get those and all that kind of stuff. So, you like at the arena when they're throwing out those T-shirts, it's not like they go, we're giving 100 and everyone's like, oh, only 100. They don't say that. They just start throwing them out there. So, you don't have to be like, we're giving away more than ever. Like, it's just giveaways enough. We're giving some of these away, and just give away whatever, 5 or something, or enough. Just give
I
some
mean,
away.
we can fire it back up again and just see kind of what happens. Maybe do it monthly, or maybe every other month or something, and just give it a good try again and just kind of take a look. But it's just
Yeah.
like, because what my thought process is like, hey, if we can get people to share it and promote it on their own, then they would bring more people that we could, have the conversations with. We can, have the opportunity to present in front of, and it would kind of like grow over time, and we could continue to increase the amount of giveaway products. Like, oh, like we're at this level, so now we'll give 30 away. Now we'll give 50. That was kind of my thought process, but it
Yeah.
didn't translate.
But like,
We could
yeah, but
also
that,
make it. We could also make it a lot better, which is like, instead of three guys sitting behind a table and smashing the table about when the new winner's gonna. Here we go. Da-da-da-da, drum roll. And I can't pronounce his name. Won the live giveaway. Instead of doing that, we can maybe break it up some more, like like how we're at home now, or we brought Dad in, and Dad's now live on the call from home. We can maybe make it more entertaining and have more segments in there that bring value, and you have a lot more, like Dad said, you have like 3 months that you would have to promote. Yeah, it's a giveaway, but it's also educational and entertaining,
yeah.
some sort.
Yeah, spot on. So that's what I was thinking. Just like, remember that one, Drew, that what were you doing? You were like camping out. You were like on the camping chair.
Oh,
Remember, and you were like roasting up something on the hot stove.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Drew was probably roasting up one of those headsets on the grill, is what he was doing.
Yeah, and then it was kind of cool because the lights were out. And then it was like the scene was on Drew to start, and then it was like something where he's over. I forget exactly. I want to go back and watch that, but it was. I thought it was so good. It was cool.
That was a Jobber campaign, and they gave us, I forget the name of the fire grill
Solo
thing. So it's just
Stove?
like this, yeah, the Solo Stove. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. The Solo Stove, and they had heated chairs too that was branded Jabra that they sponsored the event for. So Drew's sitting in the Jabra heated chair, with the Solo Stove in front of him, and he's pretending like he's roasting marshmallows, or he was like falling asleep actually, I think. And then he's like, oh, hey there.
Yeah, or then remember whereas like Drew wasn't there, but then he was in the other room, and then he did a demo on something.
Yeah, that demo actually turned out good. Most of our demos fail because it's
Yeah,
live, and
but it's
Yeah,
live.
so imagine if you add that, you incorporate that, you have a lot longer time. You do it. We were doing this once a week. Like, it
yeah,
was like after 2 months, I was like, oh my God, I can't do another giveaway again to the same audience over and over again. But
yeah,
I think if we do it less frequent, that builds also like how when companies launch like a product and there's only like limited supply, right? It's not just
hmm
so frequent, so you'd get more people that would be interested in it. Add some better factors in there of entertainment and all of that, and I think we could have something good, because again, we had so much feedback of people like, "Oh my God, your guys' show is so great." It's more than just, obviously they're there for the giveaway, but it's just funny to listen to the feedback that people found it, just us talking, entertaining. So imagine taking
Well,
that and then blowing it up.
well, plus on top of that is, I'm pretty sure, and at least I feel pretty safe in saying this, that event was pretty much from start to finish. Generally speaking, it was just winging it. You just turn on the camera and just start just ad-libbing from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, we
Now,
had like 30 minutes of preparations probably, like before, just, hey, okay, we're on in 30 minutes. What are we going to do here? And then we just come up with something kind of quick. Anyway, back to you, Dad.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, if we did these giveaway events, say once every quarter, at least it would give you a little bit more time to be able to kind of figure out exactly what direction you want to go, and how you want to present. Like such as Drew sitting in the dark in the camping environment and blah blah blah. So I think that
Yeah,
would be a
yeah,
good idea.
yeah. Yeah,
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 so I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
that
yeah,
the
yeah.
Uh-huh.
promotion, like you were saying, Dad, the like promoting it. So actually,
Yeah.
say if it was every quarter, you really give a good effort at promoting it, and it's like, once a week or whatever it is, kind of hyping it up, or even creating
Sure.
hype videos around it,
Yeah.
getting it on the social media, getting other people to share on the social media. Because remember where we did, we asked everybody, one time, for example, we asked them, type in how many batteries are in this jar or something like that, and the whole
hmm
comments blew up. Or we asked them, hey, to get another chance at the giveaway, post this on Twitter, and everyone's posting on Twitter, like hashtag headset advisor or something. So there's like, I think if we thought it through and put more focus on it, that we could get a lot of more results over time. And then, at least back to your point, Drew, with helpful information, education, entertainment, and the giveaway. So that three, and then doing that well. So it's like they're going to learn something, they're going to win something, and then they're going to be like laughing and having a good time. That's like the sauce right there.
Yeah,
hmm
it's like the NFL playoffs. What is it? The Super Bowl when they have like the Super Bowl halftime. Yeah, it shows how much I watch football. The Super Bowl halftime when they have like all this performances going on, and it's hyped up before, and then when the performance shows up, it's like, wow, this is cool. And I think we could do that on a small scale. Get on guest people that would be relevant to help bring further education, but in a fun way. I'm
hmm
thinking almost like what's the thing that Jake Paul guy did, the Triller event or Thriller event,
Hmm.
like that,
Yeah.
where it's just like, what in the world is this? But it's like you can't stop watching it. Something like that on a smaller scale.
Hmm.
Yeah, the crazy part is that say ours is absolutely free. We're giving you away and entertaining, at whether you want to call us entertaining or not. That Triller one, that's a paid event that you have to go pay a decent amount of money to view. So technically, if we upped our game, we could probably, with the clear conscience, charge like an entry fee or something like that to be entertained, to have a chance to win or something. Um, yeah, maybe not. We wouldn't have to do that. But I mean, you could put on an event where you actually could get people to pay, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, putting on an event like this, even if it was quarterly, is kind of another example of it isn't just one thing that we do in order to try to, drive up our sales. It's like all these different things, the YouTube videos, the giveaway events, the blogs, the audio blogs and podcasts, and just all of these things. So it's uh, it's kind of a tall order when you think about it, because you can't really do just one thing and then it's that one thing that drives you to the finish line of success. It's a kind of a combination of a lot of things, and it's pretty hard to really do them all well. All you can do is just do your best and hope to improve along the way and hope you do a good job, you know?
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, master of stating the obvious, right? Yeah,
On
that's right.
that note,
That was insightful.
We
Woohoo!
can just hope. We're just gonna hope for a good outcome here.
Hey, just when in doubt, just keep making the content, and keep planning, and keep pushing forward. Try new things.
well, when in doubt, keep going, keep doing what's working, and pivot away from what's not working.
Yeah,
Got that?
and if it's not working, then maybe find out why it's not working, and maybe make it work.
Yeah, and if you can't make it work, as Mr.
Then
Wonderful says, take it out back and shoot it.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
exactly
I
right.
think part of like this whole succeeding thing too, or whatever, like this financial success and stuff. I think a big part of this too, it's like enjoying what you do and enjoying the journey too. So it's like, for me personally, I'd rather make less money long run. Like, I still want, enough or whatever, but make less, and but be loving it. Like I love what I do and having a good time, and all that. So I love that we're doing this podcast, whether this is successful or not. I think one, it will just be cool to look back on it, like our family getting together doing this, weird podcast that we literally don't even know what we're talking about. It's just the weirdest. It's like,
We
what is
we
it?
do know what we're talking about.
Do
We
we?
don't even we don't have
Perfect.
any topics. This
Yeah.
whole show is literally there's not one topic. I was just like, David, hit the record button, hurry, because we were talking about good stuff. I don't know if other people do the same thing or if they have some planned questions and oh, these are some topics we're gonna do. But when we were doing business over brews and we had like, okay, David was like our host and like, okay, and then he throws out this question, okay, guys, so what do you think? It's like, ugh. That just made me want to puke in my mouth. But hitting record for me personally, I'm just like, hey, this is a lot more fun. I don't know if it's going to resonate with anyone, but this is how we talk. This is
Well,
us.
it is factual because these are things that we are actually doing right now that you can kind of come along and join the journey. And I think Gary Vee does that. It's like he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just looking for questions from people and he's just rolling with it. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Obviously, some shows they have the whole prompt and schedule and they do a really, really good job and that works. But I think
That's
this
not
can work
us.
also.
Yeah,
Hey,
well,
We're a
Gary,
winging it
David,
podcast.
what you described sure sounds like the polar opposite of what we do on a daily basis. You
Hey,
know,
Yeah,
hey,
no,
Dad, the good news about that is there's multiple ways to succeed. So
of
it's like
course.
there was Grant Cardone versus Dave Ramsey, right? They're like, going at each other, but they're both highly successful. They don't agree on philosophies of each other, but they make a whole bunch of money.
Hmm.
So that's why people are so funny when they debate certain things like sales versus marketing and, Dave Ramsey versus Grant Cardone or whatever. It's like there's not one pathway to success.
yeah, I think
Sure.
see the thing that people debate are the minors, not the majors. And like how Jim Rohn, one of like the classic mentors that I like to listen to or got a lot of knowledge from, he says, don't major in minor things. And so the majors to me are more timeless principles. The just everybody can agree that these are things that are the right things to do, and if you don't do them, that's the wrong thing to do. But when you're talking about leverage debt versus pay cash for everything, and if you're talking about multifamily real estate versus single family homes and all these kinds of things, it's like, yeah, those are kind of the minor things. You could be super successful in any of those, but the major things are that you have to have integrity, you have to have a strong work ethic, you have to have a team of people. There are so many different kind of foundational majors that you do have to have, right, that they would agree on if they had that conversation, but then they would disagree on, let's call it, the minor things. But sometimes people want to debate minors like they're majors. Uh I do that a lot. I debate.
I can vouch for you.
Yep, me
Yeah,
too.
debating, like you
Yep.
just
No
trying to win
argument.
because you have a strong opinion, but let's step back and like remove yourself from yourself for a second and say, it's kind of like, yeah, that's my opinion on this and that works for me. Yeah, but they could also be right with what works for them. But it's like lying is wrong, telling the truth is right. We both agree. That's like easy to get on the same page with.
Yeah, I think I heard somebody, I forget who it is, that said something like 98% of the decisions we make are completely pointless. It's the 2% of decisions that really make the biggest impact and the things to focus on. So, I mean, we debate, oh, should the logo be this color or that color? Doesn't matter. Should this be this or that? Doesn't matter. Like it's going to work if you do the activity matters. If you do, the prospecting, if you do the video, if you do this content, if you post, those things matter. How and what and all that stuff um, may not matter as much.
That kind of makes sense in a way because if you tie what you just said together with what Dustin was talking about with the majors and minors, to me it seems like there's a lot more minors than there are majors. So that would kind of make sense. So the
Yeah.
2% would be the major decisions, and all the rest of those are the minors.
the hard part is knowing what's the majors.
You
Yeah,
spot on. So then
Well,
that Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. So you take a step back and then you have to really get clarity. Like are the majors? Throw everything on the table. That's what I always say. Let's look at it. Let's hash it out. Figure out what are the majors. Then focus 80% of your time on the top 20% and 20% of your time on the bottom 80%. So that would be, so you have to have clarity. So yeah, you have to know what is a major, what's a real mover, and then, okay, now zoom out, that's the major, zoom back in and just smash. Like, that's just where you just go hard.
yeah, and the thing is, a lot of the times people get stuck in the trees. They can't see the forest through the trees. So they're kind of stuck in the daily grind so much that they can't zoom out to be able to see the big issues because they're so paralyzed in a sense, just from hour by hour, moment by moment stuff.
definitely. I think that that segues right now. I heard you say forest, and I was thinking like apples, and then I was starting to think like, what am I going to have for lunch? I'm starting to get a little hungry here. So
Mhm.
I think that's going to wind up wrap up this episode of We Blowing Up.
We blowing up.
Another. We're on our way. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see that we can do this. Hopefully, we could do it before our 50 episode commitment.
You
We
mean before
blowing
our
up.
50th birthday?
Oh yeah, definitely
Woohoo!
before that.
Yeah, no, that's the crazy part. I remember when I was 21 saying I'm almost 30, and then literally, like, I am almost 50 when you just made you blink, and then I swear.
No, we were
I
talking
swear.
today too. I was like, "Oh yeah, that one kid." He's like, "Dude, like," I'm like, "Yeah, that kid's about my age. That kid's about my age." And then you're like, "Dude, you're 30. You're not 21." I'm like,
Yeah, that's what
"Oh."
Dad, he says he looks in the mirror. He's like, who is that old guy? Like,
That's
that's not
right.
me. Like, because
Yeah.
inside, you're not like, I'm an old person. You're like, it's your soul in your body. Like, you're like, I know, that's not me. I'm not that guy. Like, I'm a different guy.
Yeah, and Drew, at some point, the word kid has to kind of get eliminated from your vocabulary when it starts referring to you. And I think just for full disclosure here, I think you've reached that point.
I've
So,
made
Fair
it
enough.
somehow.
uh-huh.
I think that'll wrap up this episode. Make sure you smash that subscribe button so you can see some more of our nonsense, and hopefully we blow up in the future, and you can too. So make sure you subscribe on all the platforms. We
Because
out.
we blowing up.
We blowing up.
Kaboom! Do what he said.
Thanks a lot for joining us on this episode of the We Blowing Up podcast, where me and my family are on the pursuit to blowing up our small family owned business and taking you along for the journey. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on future episodes wherever you are listening or watching. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next one.